This is the plaintiff, Barbara Arpa. She says she met the defendant online. They started dating, moved in together, and then she found out the real story. The defendant's nothing more than a scammer who took advantage of her, took her money, met other people online at the same time they were together, and then took off with someone else. She feels like a fool because she loaned the defendant money, can't get it back, and has to sue for the $1,785 she's owed. This is the defendant, Della Standifer. She says she and the plaintiff dated for 2 years, and the money went back and forth like it does in any relationship. Their relationship, however, was like poison because they fought all the time. And the only reason they're in court now is because she's seeing someone else, and the plaintiff is not happy about it. Oh, her money? No way. She's accused of letting a girlfriend down.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Barbara Arpa?
Yes.
Okay. You are suing Della Standifer for $1,785 that you say she owes you for various items that you gave to her during your relationship that she's supposed to pay you back for now that it's over. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, in June of 2009, I met Della. We were playing this game, Pogo, on the computer, and she flew up to Massachusetts.
You met her online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how did you meet her online? On what?
We were playing this game. It's Pogo, and it just has different games that you play, and people just chat in the little chat boxes.
Okay.
And Della and I started talking on the phone, and she came up for a visit, and then actually it was in June of 2009, and then I went down for her birthday in
down
June.
where?
Down in Kentucky.
Okay.
Of '09, and we kind of we hit it off pretty good, and then I went, down after that quite a few times, and by August of that year, we decided to, that we were doing, we really cared about each other and decided to get an apartment. And normally I don't move that
Get an apartment
quick.
with someone you've known only in a long-distance relationship in 2 months?
I mean, I had been alone for like 11 years prior to that. So, I mean, and she really meant a lot to me, and I mean, I did a lot.
Were you getting an apartment where you're from in Massachusetts or where she's from in Kentucky?
We were getting an apartment in Massachusetts, and within 5 days of moving into the apartment, we just got into this big argument. And
what was the argument about?
To actually tell you the truth, I don't remember how it started. It's like, I remember having a doctor's appointment, and and Della and I had fallen asleep and taken a nap, and the phone rang, and I tossed the phone on the bed, and I mean, I actually just tossed it on the bed, and she thought I threw it at her, which I would never throw it at her, never hit her, and it just blew up from there, and so I decided.
I thought you knew each other so well before you decided.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I
didn't see this coming, right? Okay.
No, I did it, and it got into a really bad argument, and Della smashed his candle, on the ground. These hardwood floors. And my sister was our neighbor, which I thought would be nice to move next door to my neighbor because, Della didn't know anyone.
We all moved next door to our neighbor. You thought it would be nice to move next door to your sister?
My sister,
okay.
And my cousin lived on the 3rd floor. And, and I thought it would be nice that Della would have company, while I was off doing stuff. So she wouldn't have to be alone because she didn't have a car.
And when you say doing stuff, you mean work?
No, just going off, and I like yard sailing and stuff like that, which we did together. When she would come up.
Okay, and so why were you mentioning your sister?
Just because, I thought her and my sister would really hit it off.
I got it, but why are you mentioning that? Because when you left off on she threw a candlestick?
Oh, yeah, when she threw the candlestick, my sister actually came over. She heard it, and she seen Della was really upset. My sister really cares about Della, and I just found out last week.
Because what? We've all known each other for 20 minutes on the internet?
Yeah, and like I said, Della still calls my sister, and to my shock, I just found out last week that she called my sister last week, like at 11:30 at night, and she's been talking to my sister, and it's like she always asks my sister about me, and my sister I haven't talked to my sister, and that's one of the reasons I don't talk to her, because she still talks to Della. You know, it's like I can't.
Okay, but so what happens between you two? You're suing for a car, you're suing for a ring, you're suing for a plane ticket, you're suing for cigarettes. That's interesting. You're suing for half of the rent and security for an apartment. So what happens? You get into this fight, and what happens?
Yeah, I just felt like, it was.
So what,
Della
you
just
told me how
wanted
you
to-
felt a bunch of times, but I am not Dr. Phil. I need to know what happened.
I just felt like there was just too much tension, and like
therefore
Della
you
just
did
wanted
what?
24/7, and I just said to her, I can't do this, and I think it's best if you go back to Kentucky.
Okay, so did she go back to Kentucky?
Yes, she did.
And then what happened?
We continued to have a relationship, and for the most part, I really loved Della, and I
Did you fly
there
back to
wasn't-
Kentucky?
Yeah, I did.
And you gave her a ring?
Yeah, we went.
Okay.
Well, that was actually
Your
I
Honor.
got the ring.
Hold on.
prior.
I'll hear your side in 1 second.
I
Go
got
ahead.
the ring prior to her.
Did you give her the ring after she moved out of the apartment?
No, it was before.
You gave her the ring before?
Yeah, I
You
gave it
really
to her
hadn't
at-
known each other 20 minutes.
It was probably like a month.
Yeah. Long
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
On the internet.
And yeah.
Okay. And did she keep the ring or did she give you back the ring?
She actually kept the ring, and kind of like it was like.
Did you try to give the ring back to her?
Yes, ma'am, I did give the ring back. When I left the apartment in October in Massachusetts to go back to Kentucky, I gave Barbara the ring back. Barbara threw the ring in the garbage. The way the ring came about to begin with is she asked me to go to the jewelry store with her. She wanted to buy a ring for her sister
And as it turned
and
out,
wanted me to go and
she was
help
just
her
trying
pick it out.
for you to pick out a ring for her to give to
Exactly,
you.
but I did not
so
know
she
it
gave you
was
the ring,
for
and
me.
when you folks broke up,
I gave it back to her. She threw it in the garbage.
And did you get it out of the
I
garbage?
took it out of the garbage, and I took it across the hallway, and I gave it to her sister.
Did you tell her you were doing that?
Yes, I did. She asked me, she said, "Where's the ring?" I said, "I gave it to Sandra,"
And
which
you
is
gave
her
it to
sister.
Sandra, why? Because you were worried
Because
she'd throw
it
it
was
out again?
bought, to my knowledge, it was bought for Sandra to begin with.
Well, you knew that wasn't true because you were
Right, but
wearing the
instead
ring.
of throwing it in the trash, give
Okay.
it to someone who would enjoy it.
Now, you're suing her for a plane ticket for $260. What plane ticket?
Well, what happened was when she left, she was supposed to call her brother Roy, and apparently she couldn't get in touch with him. And she was just like, can I put it on the
Are
credit
you talking
card?
about you bought her a plane
This-
ticket to go back to Kentucky when things
Yeah.
weren't working out? When you rented the apartment, was her name on the apartment on the lease?
Yes, it was.
Was your name on the lease?
Yes.
No, ma'am. When we went and
Can I
looked
see
at-
the lease?
I don't
When
have-
we went
I
and
don't
looked
have
at the
a copy.
How do you not
apartment.
have the lease? That's what you're trying to sue for here today, that she owes half the rent and security deposit for an apartment that the two of you entered into together that she is supposed to pay. Not that you are supporting her, but that she is supposed to pay. So why would you not have that lease? That's a huge part of what you're suing for.
Okay, when I went to court, I brought the landlord to court, and
You
that
did?
was right. Yes, I brought the landlord to court, and actually, she got in trouble because she never sent me a copy of the lease, and also she never sent me a thing where the security deposit was going into.
Okay, so you brought the landlord to court because they kept the security deposit.
Yeah, she kept everything, and I mean, the landlord told me that I needed to be out of there by the 1st of the month, and I needed to have all the belongings out of there.
So you lived there for a month.
No, we lived there for a week.
Okay, and then you were out by the 1st of the month.
Yes.
And then the landlord didn't return the security deposit, so you sued the landlord, you got that money back, correct?
No, actually, all I got back out of the whole thing was $400.
Okay, so now let's talk about the car. You fly to Kentucky, and you buy a car in Kentucky?
Yes, that was in February of 2010.
Around Valentine's Day?
It wasn't for Valentine's Day. What
But
happened
it was around Valentine's Day.
Yes,
wasn't
it was.
Was it on Valentine's Day?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was.
Ma'am, it was our first Valentine's Day, and Barbara didn't get to come down for Valentine's Day. She came down like the end of February or the 1st of March. And I didn't have a car. I have a lot of medical issues. I was having issues getting to and from the doctor. So my brother found me a used car for $700. I asked Barbara if I could borrow $300. I won't lie. I said, "Can I borrow it?" She said, "No, I won't loan it to you. But since we wasn't together Valentine's Day," she said, "I will give it to you as a late Valentine's Day present." And the car was bought on March 3rd.
How'd you get the rest of the money to buy the car?
My brother and I had some because I get my disability. I've had 3 back surgeries and 4 heart surgeries. so I get my disability. My
Do
brother
you have a
loaned me.
statement from your brother?
Pardon me?
Do you have a statement from your brother?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay. And now, why do you think this is happening? If she was so kind to you and she was so, did you break it off?
I think it was a mutual thing.
Then why do you think it's happening?
I think it's happening because in January of this year, I met a friend, just a friend, on Pogo. I told Barbara about her. I told Barbara who she was. You know, I told Barbara because we were playing games together. You know, it was nothing, just a friend. Well,
This is before or after you had moved to...
This was after I went back. This was only January of this year.
Okay.
And I had told Barbara, you know, that I had met somebody, and we would play games in the room that night, blah, 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 you know. And Barbara started sending her emails on Pogo, like, what's going on with you and Della? Why are you and Della talking? These little novelty gifts that you send back and forth on Pogo to spend your tokens, and, you know, we were sending each other little novelty gifts and stuff like that, but there was nothing to it, you know what I'm saying? We were just friends.
Were you dating her in,
No,
in 2011 in January?
Who, Barbara?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ma'am, it only ended with Barbara and I on just the week before my birthday.
Which you don't look at her,
because
talk to
I
me.
have an email from her. She was going to
Which
come
was the
down
week
again.
before your birthday's when?
June 17th.
Okay. And so that's when it ends, just recently. And then after it ends, she files a lawsuit.
Exactly. And ma'am, after she filed the lawsuit, I have the original lawsuit here. It was filed on August the 8th. And I have an email.
And it was about money that went from her to you
Right.
2 years ago.
And I have an email from her that said, happy anniversary, kiss, kiss, after she filed this lawsuit on the 8th. And if you will
I
look
did.
down, I have a copy of the, I have a copy.
Oh, I'll admit I did that.
And
Yeah,
down
I did
here
do that.
on the original, I know you have a copy, but down here on the original, in her own handwriting, she put, I have sent Della over $1,000. In parentheses, it says gifts with the comma beside of gifts. Never said they were loans.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. How long should you date somebody before moving in with them?
You really should be married.
Married?
Yes, married.
Oh, I didn't think it was taking that turn.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely.
Well, for those of you who don't believe that, how long should you know somebody and date them before moving in?
Well, long enough to actually know him. I dated my husband 7 years before we moved in.
Fair enough. What do you think? What about 1 month? This was 1 month.
No, 1 month is way too early. At least 6 months.
At least 6 months. It's kind of like prunes. How much is enough? Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, I have a question for you. You state that she was defaming you and calling you names.
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
was that?
On her Pogo mini, I have them printed off. She probably don't know that I have them put on there. She's got on there how the relationship she was in with me didn't work, but I would work for the right price.
And that was
And-
posted when?
I don't know.
It was in August?
Of course, there was no reference.
It was sometime in
Okay.
this year, ma'am. I have the email.
Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done.
Your Honor, but
Now we're done.
I have
Now we're
the
done.
reason of why I would post that stuff.
Now, we are done, okay? Look, you can't just expect courts to get involved in fixing the mistakes that you made 2 years ago when you decided to buy some gifts. You have zero evidence that they were loans. You didn't sue for them for 2 years until you guys broke up. You didn't sue for them until things got nasty between you two. And then all of a sudden you're saying happy anniversary, ha ha, when you filed the lawsuit. I am not your personal playground of vendettas and vengeance, okay? Sometimes we do things and we just got to chalk them up to experience. This appears to have been some bad moves on both of your parts. Maybe not. It lasted 2 years long distance, just couldn't last in real life, okay?
Actually, it broke up way before 2 years.
All right,
Your
sweetheart,
Honor.
but here's the deal. You're not getting money, a money recovery in this courtroom. So pat your heart up and move along, okay? Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Your Honor.
Well, as the plaintiff comes out here, it's a chance to ask your reaction to this verdict. You think
Because
you
the
acted-
ring was mine.
You think you moved in a little
Yeah.
soon? You think you acted a little
yeah,
quickly?
I mean, I did, and I mean, she didn't want the evidence of where, I mean, if you put her name on the internet, if you Google her name, she's like all over the internet.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right.
All right, you just said right down. Okay. All right, so come on in here. What are you so happy about?
Well, I'm glad the judge seen the truth. I have nothing bad to say about Barbara. Barbara was very good to me. And Barbara was very good to my family. I just hate that our friendship had to end like this.
You're tearing up now. Why?
because she was a very good friend, I thought.
Anything else?
No, I'm just going to move on and be happy, and I hope she can do the same.
Okay, let's go to Harvey now.
Okay, real quick point. The longer you wait to enforce your rights, the more suspicious your position seems. That kind of sounds like a fortune cookie.